All right, friends, it's Timon. I'm back with a new video. I'm gonna react and review this guy's video. His name is Marcus. He's a carnivore guy, you know, one of these carnivore channels. He's pretty popular. He's been around for a while, whatever. Anyways, he's doing a reaction to a video called, well, let's see what it says here. Delusional vegans think natural tribes were vegan. Okay.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I'm gonna why does ad just pop up, bro? Today I'm gonna be reacting
11 essential vitamins and minerals.
these fucking ads, bro.
Low GI.
No.
Protein.
Okay, low GI, yeah, protein, no, waste product protein.
And fiber.
High in fiber, that's a bad thing. Okay, I'm not fucking reviewing this ad, don't worry. Today we're gonna react to vegan versus carnivore women. This show is kind of like a Jubilee thing. But it's not. It's like a rip-off Jubilee thing. So yeah, let's get into it, guys.
Episode devoted vegans and committed carnivores face off to share their beliefs, science, and personal experiences behind.
But why would fucking stutter, bro? What's the point of sharing your beliefs instead of having a logical debate based on real facts, real science? Like, your beliefs are kind of irrelevant, you know? Like, otherwise you would just keep it to yourself and not try to spread it around if it was just based on your beliefs. Like,
I'm going to have to kind of agree with him on that one for sure, yeah. I'm not into beliefs, man. I'm into facts.
Logically, you would.
Their very different diets. They will debate health claims, ethics, and environmental impact.
Oh, they will they? Oh, ethics. I love this one. Environment. Okay, they're going to discuss.
Challenge stereotypes.
Like, they can actually do something about the environment. Like, they can help it. Yeah, okay.
And search for any common ground between these two extremes. Get ready for passionate opinions, surprising insights, and a conversation that
we don't fucking care, bro.
On the plates. I am your host, Dr. Michelle Daff. Welcome to the bridge.
Yeah, you're literally obese. I literally don't care.
I know. You have an obese moderator here. It's crazy, man. Interviewer.
Hello. Hi, I'm Caroline and I'm a vegan.
Yep, I can tell.
Hi, I'm Lydia and I'm vegan.
Should I say host?
I'm Lisa and I'm vegan.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm Vanessa.
Oh.
They're all horrible looking fucking. They're ugly, man. These vegan women are just disgusting.
Holy shit. Is that a female? Like, that looks like a man, bro.
No, I thought she was a man too. I thought they were man child, man. God damn, bro.
Okay, you can already tell they're vegan. You can see the omega-6 fats in their skin right here.
And that's what happens. They start becoming uglier. They're getting mutated. Their face is becoming mutated. Look at this one on the left with that crooked nose, and just look at this face, man. It's just fucking. Look at their eyes sunken in, man. It's disgusting. All right.
That's what it looks like when you have seed oils in your skin. I don't know what's going on with this bitch, but yeah, they look really fucking ugly. They got heaps of makeup on. Yeah, they dyed hair, of course, because they're fucking leftists. Yep.
I'm vegan. I'm Angela and I'm a carnivore. I'm Sabrina, I'm a carnivore.
Oh, she looks pretty shit as well. She looks like she got some fucked up plastic surgery, like.
Yeah, because these so-called carnivore people, they are based on elimination, and they're eating. Man, they're not really carnivore, man. They're elimination people. They call themselves carnivore, but they're cooking their meat, their animal products. They're eating it cooked, so they're still suffering. They won't be able to change their dimorphism in their face. It'll actually just get worse, like somewhat like what the vegans are getting. They're just not on that level. The vegans are already completely kaput, but these people, they'll just become more ugly over time.
Fillers.
You deteriorate and become more ugly over time. That's what happens.
Yeah, she looks like she got fillers.
Yeah.
In her cheeks, in her chin, when she really just needed double jaw surgery and a rhinoplasty.
I'm Charlene, and I'm a carnivore.
She looks pretty healthy.
What's so healthy about her? She's deteriorated. Deterioration is a sign of poor health. I don't know. This guy, man's a little bit. I thought he's a little bit mixed up, man. All right, whatever.
Welcome. And the first prompt is, my diet is the healthiest for the human body.
Wow. Okay.
This is really funny, man. My diet is the healthiest for the human body. There's no such thing as diet. It's a behavior. But okay, science will tell you there's no such thing as diet. It's just behavior. But you could call it diet.
Okay. Well, anyone can speak. Would you like to elaborate?
Wait, is she like? Hold on.
Okay.
Did she like not? Was she like not sure?
Anyone can speak. Would you like to elaborate on that?
I feel like the way that I eat is
Yeah. Feel. Okay. Moving on.
not taxing my body by digesting hard to digest animal products. And
How are they hard to digest? Our stomach pH is literally the closest out of every species to carnivorous scavengers like vultures.
I don't have to secrete
I'll agree. He's right.
a lot of nitrogen, which is toxic for the system and hard on the.
A lot of nitrogen that's toxic for the system. Nitrogen is nitrogen balance. You're repairing faster than you're degenerating, than you're deteriorating. That's what it means. You're building up more proteins that are building down, so the reserve proteins can actually, they can regenerate you. If you're not in positive nitrogen balance, you cannot regenerate, you cannot heal, you cannot repair your body. It's impossible. You cannot grow as a child if you're not in, look, children and women that are pregnant are in positive nitrogen balance, but if they're not getting the required nutrition, then it's really not working.
Liver and kidneys.
It's not hard on the liver and kidneys. This is only a problem if you have kidney and liver.
How could it be hard on the heart and liver and kidneys, or liver and kidneys? How could it be hard on that? That makes absolutely no sense. When meat goes in, it's dissolved, and 70% of it is water. 70% of that meat is water. When you eat it raw and you chew on raw meat, as you're chewing, you're excreting all the liquid from it. It's going in your body, and then there's very little material left by the time you swallow it, and it just turns into amino acids. The protein turns into amino acids. Yeah, man. These are the building blocks of your body.
The damage, which most people do to some extent, but digesting protein.
No, impossible. Zero damage. And if anything, it'll repair your body. What are you talking about?
Doesn't create kidney and liver damage, right?
It fixes it. It regenerates your kidney and liver. How can it damage it?
Kidney and liver is adapted to digesting, to utilizing that ammonia and turning it into urea, and flushing it out easily.
And like I said, being in positive nitrogen balance means you're anabolic, so you could now repair and grow and wound healing and a bunch of stuff in your body. I mean, it's crazy. You'll regenerate faster than you're deteriorating. And believe me, vegan people are deteriorating rapidly.
Unless you actually have kidney and liver damage. So I don't get it. Like,
I don't get it either.
It's not clogging my arteries. I feel.
What's not clogging your arteries? The meat.
How the hell could meat clog your arteries? How does it clog your arteries? It's 70% water, and the rest convert to building blocks, to amino acids, these building blocks. And the water that when you chewed it, came out. There's all the micronutrients are in there. What the fuck? This is ridiculous.
The protein. What clogs the arteries?
Yeah, there's nothing there that would clog. There's no oil, nothing. What the fuck? It's weird.
What clogs the arteries is seed oils, oxidized LDL, the lipoprotein.
Oxalates will clog it. Oxalates, the sugar, the seed oils, the omega-6, a whole bunch of that too. A bunch of things will clog it, man. This is crazy. What the fuck?
It's carrying cholesterol through your vessels.
Yeah.
Which is oxidized by seed oils, by the way.
It is.
Yeah.
Gonna have to agree with him.
What do you mean it blocks your arteries? What blocks your arteries? Like, that's so fucking dumb.
It is.
Animal products clog the arteries to the brain, to the.
The animal products clog the arteries.
Clogs the arteries to the brain. How the hell does it clog arteries to the brain? Well, it sends nutrients to the brain and the building blocks. What the fuck is she talking about? Your brain needs a lot of fat. You get that from animal. You get animal fat. It goes. It's your body. Your brain needs animal fat. This is nuts.
How? What?
Exactly how?
That is the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard. What are you talking about? The animal products clog your arteries. So you have meat floating through your arteries, right? And then it gets stuck. Cool. What about all the seed oils that clog your arteries? Oxidized seed oils, that oxidized LDL, that actually clogs your arteries.
Yeah.
Heart, it's leading to a lot of the top 12 problems, health problems. And
Your heart. What's it do to your heart? Helps regenerate your heart, especially if you're in positive nitrogen balance.
the country,
No, there's
Your skin is shedding. I don't know. As a younger person, everything sheds a lot faster, but supposedly you're older now, right? You're not growing anymore. So when you come out of this growth state, you know, like your plates are closed, you're not growing anymore. So your body, the turnover of your body takes a lot it takes a lot longer because you're not growing anymore. So it takes a lot longer when it turns over. So when it does turn over, you should keep yourself healthy with animal products. Otherwise, if you eat plants, you'll look like them, scarecrows.
no causal evidence whatsoever between red meat or any kind of meat and heart disease.
Yeah.
No causal evidence whatsoever.
diabetes.
It's impossible. There isn't anything. There's no toxins. There's no sugar. There's nothing in meat. It's just water, 70%, and protein and nutrients. And it's not devoid of any nutrients whatsoever.
Obesity.
Actually, if you want to use epidemiological studies, which what she's talking about, there's actually studies that people with high LDL cholesterol live longer on average. So if you want to go down that route, which is pretty stupid, it doesn't actually prove anything causal, so it's just dog shit evidence in the first place. But if you want to do that, then we can see a link there.
Actions may speak louder than words.
All that and more studies are showing the health benefits of veganism. So I feel like
More and more studies are showing
The studies in PubMed and everything show that plants are toxic and they're bad for you. You could get stones inside your body. You get, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Plus, it's associated with scurvy, man. That's why you have the vegan compilation. It's a lack of amino acid, and they get scurvy, and then they drop off.
health benefits of veganism. Like what? All the studies I see,
What's the health?
I don't know.
What's the health benefits of veganism? Let's see: negative nitrogen balance. You're catabolic. You're deteriorating faster than you're regenerating. You're gonna get scurvy eventually. What else is there? I don't know. You're gonna lose your looks. You'll get metabolic diseases, mitochondrial dysfunction, possible neurological diseases, and stones all over your kidney, gallbladder, a bunch of stones everywhere in your stomach, all over the place. Plus, you're gonna lose your looks. You're gonna get ugly. You may not even develop if you're vegan growing up. You'll have all kinds of problems. You'll lose your sex drive. You'll get you'll become menopausal. A bunch of stuff. Your periods will be very painful. Your births will be very painful. Yeah.
vegetarianism, which show correlations with
You'll
health
have bad skin.
outcomes of going off a random, like an unspecified diet, right? They take people off their own diet, put them on this diet, and they see health outcomes. That proves nothing causal whatsoever. And as well, it's not even about veganism.
this is the healthiest way to eat and healthiest for the planet.
When it comes to
It's the healthiest way to die early. Yes. Okay. It doesn't help the planet or anything.
the human body, we have essential functions that the body has to carry out that are fueled by micronutrients. By
Yeah.
default, a vegan diet is actually missing.
Yeah, she's right. Micronutrients. The human cell only want micronutrients. It doesn't want anything else.
Very key essential nutrients that the
True.
carnivore diet has by default. Things
Yeah, like B12.
like methylated versions of B12.
Well, B12 is just one of them, and there's also deficiency in amino acid. They get scurvy.
folate, iron,
B6,
and even DHA.
B9,
Those things are very
DHA,
difficult,
yeah.
if not impossible, to get on a vegan diet without
Yes, those are lacking in vegan diets. Those micronutrients. Yeah.
supplementing.
You said no. So what would you like to say?
I said no
There's
because
15 micronutrients that are lacking in a vegan diet. And if they say they can get it at the health food store, no, that shit's toxic. No.
I don't subscribe to the idea that there's a one-size-fits-all type of diet.
Yeah, not every species, but there's a species appropriate diet for every species. Every species has a species appropriate diet. A cow is supposed to be raised on grass, supposed to be eating grass. You believe that a specific cow can be healthier raised on grain than raised on grass with all the confounding variables controlled for?
Absolutely not. The cat will get dysbiosis, or the cow will get dysbiosis, and he could pass it on to you. So yeah, you have to be careful with that. That's not going to make him healthy. That's how they get disease too. The cow will get disease is because inappropriate diet.
But that's not the case whatsoever, because every cow is healthier on eating grass only because that's their natural diet. Every species has a species appropriate diet.
Exactly.
Every species has only very limited amounts of foods that they can eat. Even herbivores,
They'll tolerate eating those foods because they're forced to eat them. They'll tolerate them, but like humans, they start eating these toxic foods and things. They tolerate it, but they're in pain and they're suffering because you can see it's everywhere. People are suffering.
eat a couple plants. There's no variation in the diet whatsoever. So this is just the dumbest thing ever. Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of evidence that suggests that a whole foods plant-based diet there's a lot of health benefits from that.
There's zero health benefits for humans on a plant-based diet.
You can't say there's a lot of health benefits from a diet, because there can be health benefits from doing anything, from switching out anything, because there's a million confounding variables that you're not accounting for. If I went from eating McDonald's every day and went onto a vegan diet and suddenly felt better, that would not be a causal relationship to say that a vegan diet is better. If I went from eating nothing to eating McDonald's every day, that's not saying that there's benefits to eating McDonald's universally, right? So this is all just links, just dog shit,
And why I adhere to a plant-based diet, I adhere to it for ethical reasons, not for health reasons.
Yep, it's your own religion, we
So
know.
that's why I said that.
So, what specific physical or mental improvements have you noticed since switching, becoming vegan or becoming a carnivore? What have you noticed within your own body?
I was able to heal chronic pain that I experienced in my upper back and neck. I was able to heal acne that I had on my face, IBS, as well as chronic anxiety within 6 months of being carnivore.
Yeah, that's the first thing that happens when you get off the peasant slave food diet, right? Survival food, filler food, survival, starvation food, yeah.
Yeah, the chronic pain in the neck and back could be caused by oxalates in the joints.
That's what I discovered.
Yes, obviously caused by fiber. We've seen clinical trials that removing fiber completely from the diet removes all symptoms of IBS. And acne,
Got rid of all those problems. I got rid of all of them right away.
of course, caused by inflammatory plant toxins like oxalates, phytates, glutens, lectins, tannins, flavonoids, and so on.
Oh, yeah. So I had late-stage neurological Lyme disease, and I also suffered from breast cancer. And before all of that, I was plant-based, I was vegan, and I started to get very sick, and I started to have something called mast cell activation syndrome. And the plant toxins were causing me to go into anaphylaxis. And so the only thing I was able to eat was meat. And once I got rid of
because meat is the only thing that's completely ideal for humans to eat, the only thing that's completely appropriate for humans to eat. Not dairy, not eggs even. The only thing that's completely species appropriate and 100% ideal for humans to eat is meat, especially raw meat. But cooked meat,
I will agree with him. And organs. Meat, well, basically meat, yes. Animal products are the best. Raw animal products. I agree with. I gotta agree with him. Even the egg thing, man. I'm really like, the egg. It's kind of like, yeah, not eggs, no, man. And well, raw milk is okay. I find that's not a problem, but because it has the enzymes that you need to digest and stuff. You're gonna have any problems drinking with raw milk is amazing. But he says dairy. Well, I don't trust dairy per se. The stuff that they make, like cottage cheese and yogurts and all this weird stuff and everything, and pasteurized milk. No, those are no-nos, man, because that's like your meat. You're cooking the meat again. You're not eating it raw. It's destroying you still. There's broken DNA in there.
But it won't really cause any health problems.
The foods that I loved so much at the time, they were not loving me back. And meat was the one thing that saved my life. And all of my issues and my symptoms, like I got my life back when I went carnivore.
Yeah, I also cured my acne pretty much altogether by now by only eating meat. I get acne from eating vegetables. I get acne from eating fruits. I get acne, especially from eating grains.
Yep, I get the same problem if I do any of that, and I don't do any of that, so I'm okay.
From seed oils, from any kind of plant food, but meat has never given me acne. Dairy hasn't given me acne. Eggs haven't given me acne. Yeah, it's just so.
I'll agree.
The only thing that causes acne is literally just plants. That's it. There are 0 cases of acne in tribes that Weston A. Price went to, who are eating a meat-based diet, who are eating their natural diet.
That's right.
There were 0 cases of acne. They all had straight teeth. None of them had crooked teeth until the next generation, where they started eating the Western diet of mostly plants, bread, and so on, and a little bit of meat.
So I have a question for that. So in terms of you were vegan, ethically, how was that for you going from, it was
Who gives a shit?
why you're originally vegan, but then because for your own health.
Yeah, it's really just their own religion. Like, nobody really cares. It's like a Muslim saying to a Christian who was ex-Muslim, how was that ethically to start believing that Jesus is God instead of a prophet? Like, it just doesn't, there's just no point of even asking that question.
Was that for you ethically?
Question, whatever.
Honestly, I was so desperate to live. I didn't.
Veganism is a form of altruism where you put other species over your own life, over your own needs. Like if they were stranded on an island with a dog, or even like a cow, which is more like socially acceptable to eat, right? They wouldn't kill that cow; they would just starve because they're altruists.
I made sure that all of my food was sourced ethically as possible. Grass-fed, pasture-raised, regeneratively farmed, local.
Yeah, that's good, but it's good because it's healthier, not because it's ethically better. Like, nobody gives a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm sure she doesn't actually give a shit. She's just being performative. Well, not really. She's just doing it to, like, try to appeal to the vegans, I guess. Try to appeal to the masses.
We got to know the people that were growing and raising my food. Because to me, this wasn't just a diet, this was my medicine. And I was so sick, I couldn't even use supplements or medication.
That's right. If you treat food as medicine, you'll be okay. But if you don't treat food like medicine, they'll be feeding you medicine as food at the pharmacy.
To heal. So this was my food and my...
Yeah, the only medicine should be going back to nature, because there's nothing that can heal you completely. Like, fix the problem unless you fix the problem, which is always going away from nature. Not to appeal to nature, but scientifically we see, going against nature, at least eating not what's natural for us, is very detrimental to us.
Medicine. And when you're dying and you're desperate, you're going to do whatever it takes. But the one thing was that even the difference, once I started to get my health back, the difference between how I felt when I was vegan versus how I felt when I'm carnivore is night and day. And
yeah,
that to me
100%.
was the most significant.
Because when you're vegan, you're malnourished, you're being starved, basically.
Thank you for sharing that. And we will actually talk about the ethics and morality, so we will get into that. But I want to
Why?
hear the
It's so bullshit.
answer to that question.
I'm going to skip that ethics and morality.
It's been a long
chapter.
road for me because my family went vegan when I was like 11 years old. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that's why she looks
I've been able
so
to
malformed.
get healthier and sick and healthy. But I guess when my family first went vegan, I don't think I noticed initially like that much difference, except for that that like my body didn't stink as much. And then
Oh wow, okay. That's
in
interesting,
college,
actually.
Her body didn't stink as much. She went vegan. What? This makes absolutely zero sense. Your body smells, man, from vegan shit.
I actually don't stink.
The reason why vegans stink is because all the toxicity is going through the skin. It's coming out of your skin, coming out of their mouth, bad breath, coming out of their skin, rotting teeth, rotting bones, rotting meat inside, fermenting. It's just gross, man. If your teeth are rotting, you're rotting in from the inside out. You smell. You're blowing gas all the time. You're farting, bloating. You have inflammation, bloating in the stomach. It's just nuts, man. This is just bullshit, bro. She's lying.
Anymore after I switched to a raw carnivore diet.
Right. Went all the way when you switch to especially raw animal diet. Wow, when you go raw, man, you're in for a big shock, man. Anything that was ever ailing you is gone.
Yeah, I noticed actually I think more when I ate vegetables, but I mean if she was eating like fucking McDonald's and bullshit food, yeah, it would make sense if she eats like a cleaner diet, like not processed foods.
I started eating dairy products because I was eating at the
Malnourished.
cafeteria,
No, because you're
on the campus,
malnourished.
and,
You're craving
in
animal
North
fat.
Carolina
That's why.
didn't have a lot of vegan options, and so I started adding dairy and maybe some eggs, and I noticed like
Because you're malnourished.
the stinking problem, but that was
Stinking problem. She started adding some eggs, dairy. What?
also when
What? You
I
noticed
got
the
diagnosed
stinking
with Crohn's
problem?
disease and
Yeah, okay, that's some bullshit.
lupus. So I think that possibly even eating animal products contributed to that.
I mean, you're a vegan for
How do you know it contributed to that if you mixed them with your plant foods? What are you talking about?
like a little bit, and then you started eating dairy and meat again, and then the Crohn's disease started. I mean, dairy and eggs.
Yeah.
When I was able to get help from a nutritionist, I was able to kind of reverse that again.
I have a friend whose mom healed her Crohn's disease by stopping eating vegetables and grains.
So
Yeah, because that's the cause of Crohn's disease. Once you stop the doctor, every time I move my arm, it hurts. When you stop doing that, guess what? It goes away. Yeah. Kind of works that way.
So I think that it is very, very possible to heal on a plant-based diet, and and it's not necessarily like going to be like always perfect because our bodies are imperfect. But
I think she's healing on a plant-based food diet from the peasant slave food diet that she was eating, McDonald's and shit, and pizzas and pastas and weird ass motherfucking foods, all the fake foods she's eating. Because now she just says she's doing what? Fruits and plants or something. I don't know. So are you not eating these packaged foods that are made out of plants and vegetables? I guess she stopped doing that. I don't know. And maybe that relieved her somewhat. But eventually it'll catch up with her because she still hasn't gone back on her appropriate diet. And all these vegans in the end, they all do. Yeah, I'm no longer vegan. I never thought I would be. Yeah, vegan compilation number 101 million. They're next on the list.
By what standard?
Whatever.
but I think if you're committed ethically to
If you're committed ethically, what do you mean ethically? To what? To your health?
living ethically, you'll find a way to do it without
To living ethically. There's no such thing.
killing or harming or stealing from somebody else.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Harming or stealing from somebody? Why would you harm or steal somebody? What are you talking about?
But why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
Why would you feel the need to not harm or steal
Yeah. That makes no sense.
from animals or from like okay.
Yeah, I do. I grew up, my parents always insisted I have meat, that my brain wouldn't develop properly.
Yep, that's true.
And they would always
Yeah,
force
that's true. They obviously they know they listen to their senses. They knew.
Because
Even if they did grow up on peasant slave food diets.
you need B12 for your brain,
Yeah.
which is only found in meat. You need a lot of DHA and cholesterol, which are only found in meat. You can only convert ALA to DHA at about 4% conversion rate, so it's not sufficient whatsoever.
it, and I was constantly sick. I constantly had throat infections, and I missed so much school. I had teachers saying, do not let
She had constantly throat infections, all of these weird things. Okay.
my class, and I was like, no, I'm sick all the time.
Well, and you think you're
And,
sick?
And what is it from exactly? Eating those plants that you've been eating?
Because of the
when I
meat.
went to college and I had control over what I ate, that's when I was vegetarian first and then vegan, and I stopped being constantly sick.
She was vegetarian first, then vegan. Okay. And then she stopped being sick. She probably, because they were eating fake food like pasta again, and I don't know, eating weird packaged foods. Most likely she stopped the packaged foods and then she went vegan, right? No, I forgot what the fuck she was talking about. Some kind of fucking thing. I don't know. Who cares, man? And then she went vegetarian, and then she went vegan. So let's see what she stopped. All the packaged fake food and eating at McDonald's and fast food and all these fake places. And then the sore throat stopped. So it probably came from McDonald's. Okay.
I was like, probably half the year I was sick before, and when I went vegan, I stopped having that. I had more energy, my joints.
Yeah, she went vegan and she got rid of the food that was causing it. So she had eliminated it. Because plants themselves will cause problems eventually with the time. Not the kind that I don't know. It depends on each person. It affects them differently. I don't know how to explain this, but whatever. It affects everybody differently, but yeah. She eliminated the junk food. And so she started eating that. But eventually, too, will catch up with her.
Hurt less, I was always in.
That's why she transitioned. She went into veganism after this other shit. Yeah. Vegetarianism.
Athlete, I was a dancer, and I'm an aerialist now, and I had a lot more energy, better performance, less joint pain, and I can't even remember the last time I've been sick from a lifetime of being in bed.
Yeah. Should have eliminated that McDonald's a long time ago. Why didn't you get rid of it?
Most of the year and always going into the doctor's office. So for me, it gave me my life back.
Here's the thing. She never ever said that she ever went carnivore to find out how she would feel. She's blaming, kind of blaming, saying something about maybe meat was causing it. She didn't exactly say that. She just said she was sick all the time and then she got better doing those things. Now, the question is, she went vegetarian, veganism. Why didn't she try carnivore to see what would happen? None of this makes sense, but whatever.
No lines, no parking.
That's great. In terms
Yeah,
of
it's great. Now she's a herbivore, so she went herbivore. And humans are not herbivores, because according to fake science, they tell you humans are omnivore. Well, if we're omnivore, we're not herbivore, so I guess we'll die if we go herbivore, because vegan is herbivore diet. See what I mean? So can a human that's an omnivore live on a herbivore diet? Good question. No.
like specific groups, like children and pregnant women, for the vegans specifically.
Yes, exactly. So if humans are omnivores, what makes this lady think? What makes her think that the meat was giving her the problem?
And even athletes, do you think plant-based diets are safe?
Yeah, doing good.
No.
Wow.
And why do they think eating like a herbivore is safe? Why?
Okay, definitely not. Not for children, not for pregnant women. You're going to...
Yeah, they're crazy, man. That's not for children. That's not for pregnant women. This is gonna fuck them up.
give birth to an incel if you put them on a plant-based diet during pregnancy. During their early childhood, you're going to develop an incel.
That's not a problem. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Based on what it seems like, these people have no biochemical knowledge whatsoever. So yeah, definitely is what she said. Definitely. Okay.
The carnivores.
You could have said I believe so, but definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely is crazy.
Do you think your mental clarity or mood has changed on a meat-only diet?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yes. That's one of the bonuses. I did not realize that was going to happen. When I first went carnivore, I was a little skeptical about it because we've been taught all of our lives about the food groups.
Yeah, you've been taught, you've been conditioned all your lives. The 4 food groups and all of that, yeah. Okay, what do you mean skeptical? You're an omnivore, right?
But as I looked into it more and more, I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. And
So you gave it a try. So you eliminated the omnivore, the herbivore part, and now you went full carnivore part. Yeah, okay.
within 3 days of going carnivore, all of my joint pain went away.
Wow, 3 days going in, get it, eliminating the herbivore part of the carnivore part diet. All the pain and everything went away. Interesting. Look at the look on the vegans' faces. Look at them. This one's smiling because she knows the truth, man.
Wow.
Look at them. This one's like, look at her face. She's got a sourpuss. But the other one is laughing because she's smiling because she knows, man.
That's insane. Yeah, she probably got a lot of stearic acid, which lubricates the joints. Was able to detoxify the oxalates from the joints.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, because meat is never inflammatory.
And rebuild cartilage as well from
That's
the
right. Meat is never inflammatory. Has no oxalates, has no poisons, lectins, toxins, or anything in there. No sugar.
Proteins.
It's not based on addiction or anything like that.
So that's pretty amazing.
True.
I think one of the good things,
Cooked meat is slightly, but compared to vegetables, it's almost negligible.
if I might add, about both of these diets is if you are cutting out all of the processed food and the junk food, that really does a lot.
Absolutely. I know, well, I just had a baby, and I was talking with a lot of pregnant women during that time, and some were vegan, and I do know that they struggled greatly being vegan and being pregnant. Yes, there were ways around it, but they did have to do a lot more to make sure the baby was getting the correct nutrition. They had to have nutritionists to kind of like aid them with the pregnancy, and some couldn't do it. Some had been vegans for like 15 years, but during that pregnancy, they just couldn't do it. So I do know that this is not, it's not like an easy thing necessarily. Can it be done? Yes, but
No.
I do think that there are some things you have to go through.
Yeah.
What would you do? Just give your baby a bunch of pills? Like an absolute psychopath? Like what? Or just let the baby eat what it wants and not subscribe to your cult, your religion?
It's time for the pro to get
Like, what's up?
I like the cult religion part. That's a good one, yeah.
I'm the oldest of four, so my
Yeah, you look the
youngest
oldest.
sibling was
Working out.
3 when we went vegan, I think, and she actually is like the strongest of all of it. Like she builds muscle so easily. She was like so energetic.
That's not really a good marker of health, especially for women.
And like super strong. My the one above her, she's also like really strong, really muscular, really healthy.
Really muscular. What does that have to do with diet? That's like, she probably goes to the gym.
And my brother actually resisted, so he made my mom buy him Totino's pizza rolls and ramen. And
That's pretty shit.
Yeah,
Still not
a good,
malnourishment.
study, I guess, on that. But
How were you ensuring you were getting all the nutrients as a child? Like, yes, you can look muscular and be strong and all of that. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily healthy.
Exactly.
And, as a child, it's a foundation for the rest of your life. So sometimes as children, you can go junk food, you can go vegan, you can go carnivore, whatever. But as you get older, you'll see the repercussions of those things
You can go junk food too? Okay.
you did as a child that you didn't see in childhood.
Wow, I actually like this lady. I'm kind of feel bad now that I actually bullied her at the start.
So how can you ensure that a child is getting everything that they need for later on?
Exactly. How do you ensure they're getting the omnivore diet, which I'm against, should be carnivore, but omnivore diet?
In life where, their body would not react. Did your family have any issues in that area at all?
we didn't have any issues.
You didn't have any issues of getting them B12, or you gave them a pill?
Yeah.
We ate a lot of, there wasn't so much vegan junk food back then. Maybe Oreos was the only thing. So we ate a lot of like salads and like very whole food, plant-based.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of Oreo cookies then, or what? Or there were?
And we always had raw.
We had a lot of salads, but we had a lot of salad dressing on their toxic vinegar, oil and shit, nasty seed oils and crap and everything. And salt and sugar in there mixed and everything else.
Fruits and
We had these engineered fruits that are super massively sweet with fructose that causes mitochondrial dysfunction and brain damage because it's a known fact, PubMed. Yes, okay.
every meal was very like plant forward, lots of veggies, and all of our
Plant forward, lots of veggies, yeah. Filler foods, their lack of any nutrients in there, they're anti-nutrient, yeah. Just fillers to, you know, you're not exactly a starving nation, but you're, I don't know how they say starving nation. No, you're starving, man.
at all of our doctor's appointments, you know, we're
Didn't
always
answer
like
the question.
in the
Just, I know she doesn't want to answer the question because she's fucking stupid.
tallest
She wants to give her opinion or bullshit across.
and best weight and
Philosophy.
you know, all the different
height is
factors that we
mostly
look at,
genetic.
and really healthy blood work.
It's 60% genetic, 60 to 80.
So
That's so interesting.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be anecdotal stories of people with their own experiences. Everybody has different body and reacts
that's
differently.
true.
No, none of these vegan people gave their experience. What their experience was just eating raw animal products. Not one of them gave their experience. See what I mean? They're full of shit. You have to go out and try free. I've done everything. You have to go out and find out for yourself what these things do to you, and then you'll know. But they never gave it a try. So how the fuck can she talk on that? She says, "Oh, this is the best, whatever."
To certain diets, but all the major dietary
Yeah, some people are less sensitive to vegetables, that's why they can tolerate them. But really, everyone gets inflamed by vegetables. They just don't notice it as much as others people. They would probably, most likely, realize that they were inflamed before if they went on a carnivore diet.
Right. Right, exactly.
Yeah, every species has a species-appropriate diet, but some people are genetically predisposed to being sensitive to certain things, having allergies, but they're all caused by the same thing. Yeah.
associations have come out and said that the plant-based diet is healthy at all stages of life.
Who cares about the associations?
Infancy,
Association said that plant-based diets are healthy and everything. So you believe everything the government tells you? So if the government tells you, "Hey man, this is healthy for you to jump off a fucking cliff," you're going to do that too, right? You know what I mean? Or take these vaccinations. And guess what? They all lined up to take the vaccinations. They believe that the government is going to give you a vaccination that is good for you. Fuck off, man. You really have to be retarded to believe that shit. That's how stupid people are. They take these vaccinations like, what the fuck? You think your government gives a shit about you? They're poisoning you, man. They fucking poison your tap water. What are you talking about? They poison your food. They allow these businesses to poison your food and poison you with poisonous food. What the fuck, man? She's nuts.
the way to pregnancy.
Yeah, that's someone's opinion.
Delayed pregnancy?
No, if we're
Doesn't
talking
mean
about
anything.
children, there's no evidence
Yeah,
that
this is just opinion.
suggests that supplementing is inherently unhealthier than getting it from the food source itself.
But there's no evidence that supplementing actually works.
Exactly. They don't really work, man. It's all bullshit. That's why the vegan compilation, they're suffering. They're all getting scurvy. Because if they worked, they wouldn't have gotten scurvy. Because it doesn't work.
And why would you fucking give your kids pills instead of just let them eat naturally, you evil bitch?
Exactly. Why would you give something that's unnatural to your kids? Give them something natural, meat. None of this makes sense. And you can already see your kids don't want to eat plants. Why? Stop forcing them, but they force them because we got to condition them. We have to force them and toxify their brain and their body, make them fucked up for the rest of their lives. But guess what? When you give them meat, they'll eat the meat right away. Why? Because we're carnivore animals. But the moment you give plants to kids, they scream, yell, cry. They don't want to eat that. Why? Because they know it's toxic, bro. Get it? They know it's bad for them. It'll fuck them up. It'll fuck up their attractiveness.
So it's very easy to be healthy on a plant-based diet.
So how?
My experience, it is you're not going to be healthy on a plant-based diet. Not for very long. When the resources in your body run out, it'll start allocating stuff. And you're gonna get scurvy.
I want to speak to that on this side.
Well, I have 4 children. They're all grown. But I nurse them all. And, that is actually a carnivore diet, if you think about it. So that is one of the healthiest diets you can ever give your child. So
Yeah, she's smart. See, she's an older woman. She's intelligent. She knows because her experience is telling her that. Her instincts and her experience is telling her most healthiest diet. Yeah. You can tell the vegan people are still suffering. They're having issues. They got rid of a majority of their issues because they eliminated the fake foods and the junk food stuff, and then they went into this thing. But eventually, they'll all run back to meat. All of them will in the end. I can swear on my life, man. May I be hit by lightning. I know they will return.
Oh, breast milk, yeah. Yeah. Or, yeah, if you actually went on a vegan diet where it was only plants, right? Then, like, the ideology is that it can be only plants since birth. But if you actually thought that, then you wouldn't breastfeed your kids.
Yeah.
You know? So, which is actually, animal products, whether or not you think it's ethically wrong or what. It's actually an animal product. So if you think that your kids can survive without your breast milk, then just don't give it to them.
I'm a mom of 3, and my kids follow what I will call an animal-based diet. So they're not just solely on meat, but we do eat a lot of that in our house, of course.
That's great.
We do also get fruit. My daughter actually really likes sauerkraut, so of course I allow her to have it. And anytime they want to eat something else, I'm not dogmatic about any of it. But to your point about...
But why would they want to eat that stuff? Because you raised them on it, and then you forced them, and then so they got used to it. It became tradition now. Shit.
Children can thrive on basically anything. It's because they are in a natural catabolic growth state that's fueled by hormones and stem cells. So kids are resilient because we see kids growing up every single day that are fueled by entirely processed.
Yeah, because kids are growing up. They're in positive nitrogen balance, and so are pregnant women.
Foods. Kids that live in food deserts, right? Kids that are technically orphans in other countries that don't have any sort of nutrition at all.
Children have to be in positive nitrogen balance all the time because they're growing, and so do pregnant women, to combat any of these problems. Like, you may go through a famine or something, but not for very long. You know what I mean? For a period of time or whatever. You still have to eat meat products, otherwise you're fucked.
So I think it's really hard to say what diet is best for kids because they're going to thrive in very poor...
What do you mean it's hard to tell what diet is appropriate for kids? Meat. The appropriate diet is a high nutrient diet, nutritious diet, meat, animal products.
Circumstances a lot of the time. And then when you...
Raw animal products.
See them into adulthood and you see the possible chronic diseases, the autoimmune disorders, the other things that can affect them based on these...
It's true, they might not necessarily die, but they'll definitely become prone to things like acne, eczema. Like, I had eczema as a child, as a very, very young, right? Very young, and I was on formula. Whether or not that's a causal thing or not, it's a correlation, so I'm not going to say whether it is. It's just interesting. I was on formula. I had eczema. I am prone to acne now. I had acne for a few years. I still do sometimes, but I don't get it when I'm on carnivore. And a lot of people have allergies. Kids develop allergies. 50% of kids now have to get braces. I think it's more than that, actually, because their teeth don't...
That's right. They don't develop properly. That's the problem. You get underdeveloped. You become fucked up.
Develop properly. My teeth are developed fine. I actually have a wide palate.
PSA, this will get you too much. This is messy.
Straight teeth, naturally, but...
Chronic lifelong deficiencies that you may not have noticed because they're just in that growth state. That's when we start to see, well, what may be the optimal diet at that point.
Animal products are essential for optimal human health.
True.
Okay, well, that's kind of obvious. Go ahead and share.
Animal products are the most bioavailable. We can break it down the easiest, and it's the most nutrient-dense food that we can eat. Our bodies are made to eat meat.
Yeah, all animals have every nutrient they need to survive.
Yeah.
Which means that if we animals, we get all the nutrients we need to survive, logically, because they're surviving, right?
A logical fact.
I will add that, kind of what I said earlier, there are certain nutrients that are only found in meat that are essential to the human diet.
Like what?
Choline is one of them, which is essential for brain development. Heme iron, which is mostly better absorbed coming from meat. Folate.
Well, not mostly.
She knows her stuff.
Like 100% it's better absorbed coming from meat, and there are also anti-nutrients that bind to iron in like spinach, for example.
Yeah.
Oxalates.
And then the active form of B12. To your point, yes, people can get it, but there is a large percentage of the population, I don't know the exact number, that has a defect in something called the MTHFR gene. This actually makes them unable to convert the inactive form of B12 to the active form, which is what actually fuels your energy production and detox pathways in the body. So a lot of times people can...
That's true. Also, there was a study done about 10 years ago in Britain. I'll pop it up on screen if I can find it, but 50% of women couldn't convert beta-carotene to vitamin A at all. And most people can do it only at a rate which is around like 1 in 12. So like 12 units of beta carotene makes 1 unit of vitamin A, of retinol. It's obviously essential for optimal human health.
Actually get a buildup of something called homocysteine, which is actually a molecule that can cause cardiovascular disease. And so somebody can actually heal their cardiovascular disease by going carnivore and getting those bioavailable nutrients in their diet.
So you don't, like, carnivores don't, like, take B12 supplements, is that what you're saying?
They usually don't have to. Now, I will caveat that with the people who...
Why would they? If they cook their meat to death, then yeah, because you destroy most of B12, or at least a lot of it.
Yeah, they're cooking their meat, so, man, they're not real carnivores, that's the problem.
But if they're eating, like, medium rare steaks, definitely not. And eggs.
Do have that genetic defect. Sometimes we do still have to supplement them even on a carnivore diet because they naturally will run deficient. And I do a lot of this in my practice.
You won't have to do it if you eat raw meat, though, because there's active B12.
That's right.
In the meat.
I agree.
So it doesn't matter if you have the gene defect, you'll get active B12.
Yeah. And I've never heard of a gene defect. Maybe that's something passed down because they've been eating the peasant slave food diet for so long, then it hit. It's called epigenetic. It became an epigenetic. Who knows?
Sure. I just have a question. So on a carnivore diet, do you have to supplement?
But I don't believe that anyways. I just know that if you're deficient or something, it's because you're cooking your meat. That's all. It's really simple. There is no gene problem or deficiencies. It's just bullshit. They're making stuff up, man. And I hate it because then they're stringing me along with this garbage.
Vitamin C or vitamin K? Or...
What about vitamin C? Yeah, oh, meat has vitamin C. This has vitamin C. Yeah, okay.
So vitamin C, no, because vitamin C is uptaken into the cells by the GLUT1 transporter.
And your body doesn't make vitamin C for a reason to protect you. So you don't need vitamin C. It's bullshit.
Competes with glucose for uptake into the cells.
That's right.
And also glutathione raises on carnivore, which recycles vitamin C.
Right, so if you get these fucking fake foods and shit, it'll compete with glucose, yes.
So, and all meat has vitamin C in it,
That's right.
including muscle meat. Spleen is the highest in it. Liver also has very high content, but muscle meat does as well. Eventually, if you're eating it very overcooked meat, then you will have to supplement vitamin C. But if you're eating like medium rare steaks, and we can see case studies of people like Anthony Chafee who have been on the carnivore diet for decades and never developed scurvy. I've never seen a single case of someone on carnivore developing scurvy, and scurvy actually
me too.
Develops in around 6 weeks. And in terms of vitamin K2 is only found in animal products, and it's way better than fucking K1. K1 is fucking useless compared to K2, right? K2 has a way longer half-life in the body. It has a lot more uses in the body than K1. So K1 is just irrelevant, and vitamin C is attainable through meat.
Fiber, any of the...
Fiber is not a nutrient at all. It's not required for any process in the human body whatsoever. It's actually an anti-nutrient and blocks enzymatic absorption, and it causes IBS.
Nutrients that are lacking in animal foods.
The answer to that is maybe, because everybody's different, right? We don't...
Okay, everybody is different in some ways, but not in the way that the species-appropriate diet, it differs between every individual.
Exist in vacuums. Our systems are not completely stable at every point in time. We have outside factors. So something like even a person's stress level can influence how much vitamin C their body's running through. So somebody could be doing a carnivore diet.
Right, okay.
They could still be getting adequate amounts of vitamin C on paper. But if they're in a high stress state,
really?
They could be running through it more and may need to supplement.
I would say, again, there's no magic nutrients in animals, and
there's no magic nutrients at all.
There's no magic nutrients in animals? What?
It's just that there's every nutrient in animals that you need, and there isn't every nutrient that you need in vegetables. There are a few essential nutrients that you can only get from animals, and there are lots of beneficial nutrients, micronutrients, that you can only get from animals. Taurine, creatine are very beneficial.
I once, when I was early on in my adult life, I had an iron deficiency, and the doctor said, I was living in France, and they're like, you have to eat meat. And I did some research and found that using lemon on iron on beans would increase the absorption, and I
That's a myth.
did that, and I came back, my levels were perfect, and the doctor said, oh, you ate meat? Nope, had beans and lemon. And
The blood tests don't really mean anything.
fruits and vegetables have all the minerals and vitamins that we need. I believe that we're from the tropics originally, we're frugivores.
Yeah, but plants are anti-nutrient, whatever.
And
how's that acid on your teeth, man, lady? First the acid gets on your teeth, starts eroding the enamel and stuff on your teeth, causing caries and shit. Then it goes inside and starts embalming you from the inside out. Yeah.
What? Okay, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. If you believe we're from the tropics, why would we be frugivores? We see the people in the tropics, for example, the tribes in the Amazon, don't go looking for days for fruits, which you can barely even find in the first place in the jungle. And if you do, they're probably toxic. They go looking for days for animals to kill. Why would that mean that we're frugivores, even if we evolved from the tropics? Like, just fucking mentally retarded, bro. Holy shit.
that's where all the nutrients and the fiber come from.
Okay, the nutrients and the fiber. The nutrients, what, like vitamin C, vitamin E, potassium, magnesium, like those are the only nutrients in fruit. And then you have fiber, which is indigestible, rots in the colon into things like formaldehyde, and blocks nutrient absorption. That's why you have fruit, which is less glycemic index, even though it's high in sugar, high in fructose, because fiber blocks the absorption. In that case, it's a good thing. That's why fruit has fiber, but it's not essential in the body at all. If you eat fiber with something that actually has meat, then you're not gonna. Something that actually has nutrients, you're not gonna get as much of those nutrients. So fucking dumb. Just
right.
Stop talking about fiber, please. Can we stop talking about fiber? Oh my god, it's just like the dumbest shit ever. It's not a nutrient. It's not essential. It's not optimal. It's deleterious to eat fiber. Fuck, man.
People are deficient in fiber and
That's impossible. It's impossible to be.
People are deficient in fiber. Fiber is not a necessity.
Deficient in something that's actually disadvantageous.
Exactly. You can't be deficient in something that you don't need, that is not for human consumption.
It's just like fucking mentally retarded lady, bro.
vitamin C and all those other things. Pretty much nobody's deficient.
All those other things, right? All those other things. Vitamin C, which is found in meat. Fiber, which is not essential, nor optimal.
So if they're deficient in this fiber, the carnivore ladies, how come they're not keeling over and dying from the deficiency? Why aren't they getting scurvy from this deficiency in fiber? Why aren't they dying, keeling over?
Vitamin C, which is found in meat, and all those other things, right? All those other things, like what? Fucking name one.
See what I mean?
Protein if they're not starving to death. So,
here's what we find. We find that the carnivore people can only last so long, then you get the vegan compilation. I am no longer vegan. There are so many channels. There are no longer vegan, bro. Get it? Yeah.
Vitamin C and all those other things. Pretty much nobody's deficient in protein if they're not starving to death. So I feel like a plant.
Deficient on the basis of what? The arbitrary values made for people on Western diets. Like, you can't really say what's deficient and what's not biochemically.
Based, whole food, plant-based, lots of different colors and variety of...
Oh yeah, colors, yeah, because as humans, we need colors to thrive, right? We need to consume colors.
I know a lot of people say this stupid shit, those peppers. You need yellow peppers and red peppers and green peppers. Wow, who's making up this food pyramid shit, bro? They really got, these people are dumb to believe that. Oh, the colorful fruits. You need a lot of the greens and stuff. Yeah, green what? Why do you need the colors for? What's so special about them?
Yeah, totally not that.
Nonsense.
Red and yellow are the colors that spike appetite in humans, which are the colors of megafauna, meat.
Yeah, meat.
Muscle, organs, and fat, which is yellow naturally, that we optimally eat. And green actually suppresses appetite in humans, blue as well.
Yes, that's right. Green suppresses appetite in humans. Blue, yes, yeah, blue as well, yeah.
That's yeah.
Red,
Okay.
that's why when they're freezies from the store and popsicles, they always want the red ones. Why do people? Why are the chips like the ketchup chips the most popular? They buy mostly these ketchup chips or something that's red. It's the most bought up stuff in the store because it reminds them of meat, red meat, blood, whatever, animal blood stuff. Your senses, your brain, and everything. It wants that, so you buy that, trying to mimic it.
Okay, just colors, bro. Colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of produce will give you a very healthy, balanced diet, much more than eating animals.
But do you
Oh,
have
yeah,
a lot
okay.
more of whatever
Okay.
you're
Yeah,
eating?
sure it will. Yeah. You're a proof lady. How do you know? You never tried it.
Like in terms, let's say protein, you are eating like what kind of things do you eat for protein? Like chickpeas and.
But why the fuck do these people talk about protein?
Chickpeas, flaxseed, hemp.
So you have to eat so much.
Tofu, chickpeas, they have to eat so much of it. They're eating all day. That's their problem. Why are there only 3 carnivore people there and there's 4 vegans?
Of it in order to get.
People get way too much protein. It's a myth that we
Based on
need the
what?
amounts of protein that we need.
Oh, it's a myth. Okay.
We get way too much protein. It's a myth. We get way too much. No, we don't. You're not getting enough. That's their problem. That's why you're deteriorating faster than you're regenerating. So you're going to look like a mummy in the mirror. You're already looking like a mummy.
I'm not eating hundreds of, grams of
Oh,
protein.
you're a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Is that why you look 70 years old?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not eating 100 grams of protein. Yeah, I can tell because your skin looks like shit. You're not getting hydroxy.
She's deteriorating.
Proline. You're not getting a lot of proline or glycine for your collagen.
Yeah.
Protein because our body can only absorb a certain amount of
Meat is anabolic, man. Meat is anabolic.
sitting anyway. And
No, that's not true.
fruits and vegetables have protein in them. In fact, kale, ounce per ounce, has more protein than.
Yeah, but they're anti-nutrient, and you can't absorb any proteins that are inside these so-called proteins. You can't absorb them.
And we don't.
Ounce per ounce. Are you sure about that?
And they're deficient anyways.
0.5 grams of protein. Red meat. Protein per ounce, 7 grams of protein. I think she misspoke. If she meant per calorie, that's a more common statement. It doesn't matter because you would have to eat fucking mountains
Calories don't exist. That's why she has to eat so much. She's eating like a cow.
of kale to get the same amount of calories as like 100 grams of meat. So you would just get instant IBS. You would just get kidney stones from the oxalates, calcium oxalate stones.
Amino acids. So that's what is in plants.
Okay, what about hydroxyproline, creatine, taurine, carnitine? Those aren't in plants. Yeah.
Like 1 block of tofu is the equivalent calorically and protein
Who cares about
to
calories?
about 6 eggs. And so, you can easily eat. Well, I can't.
Oh, okay. That protein is actually very low biological value, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Eat a whole brick, but you could eat like a half a brick. Okay, maybe. Good.
Do you think on this side, ladies, that some people are genetically suited for carnivore diets than others?
Yes.
No, that's fucking dumb.
I can definitely speak to the genetic predisposition in certain people, so whether they may be suited to a carnivore diet or not. This is actually something that I tested my patients in my practice. It's something that I tested on myself. And I do happen to be very well suited personally to a carnivore diet based on my genes that metabolize carbohydrates, how much I require in protein, and how I do with saturated fats. So it works.
Okay, everyone does beautifully with saturated fats because it's the most optimal fatty acid category that for metabolism. It's the most efficient because it's not double bonded like polyunsaturated fats. It's not prone to lipid peroxidation.
Yeah.
So it's the best type of fat, hands down. And genetic predisposition to metabolize carbohydrates, what does that have to do with the carnivore diet? Because you will have no carbohydrates in the diet. You would produce the amount that you need in the body endogenously, and then most of your tissues will be on ketone bodies majority of the time until you eat a high protein meal, and then insulin will rise, and then that glucose will go into your cells. But you will have such a low amount of carbohydrates in your body that your genes for metabolizing carbs don't matter at all. So I don't know what she's talking about.
Really, really well for me, and it doesn't work well for everybody. There actually are genes that predispose people to developing plaques and cardiovascular disease with high saturated fat.
No, you can't make a causal inference from that.
No, there's no such thing.
From the studies done. No.
And we see this in the literature, we see this in real life. But for the people that are on the fence and they haven't tried kind of one way or another, I think looking at somebody's genes is going to tell them what they may be best suited to if they'd be willing to experiment.
I have a question. I wonder if, like, how long has anyone sustained a carnivore diet? Like,
decades, longer than any vegan.
Like, are there any long-term studies on it?
Yeah, forever. Yeah, why don't you do your own studies and find out? Yeah.
There are no long-term studies. There are case studies that we look at, like Anthony Chafee. He's optimally healthy. Yeah.
Coming up on 4 years.
I'm coming up on 5, and we have a lot of people in our community that have been doing it for over 20.
How much
That's awesome.
exactly, or like, can you explain sort of like the typical lifestyle of someone who considers himself a carnivore versus just a typical person who eats whatever?
I was very strict when I first went carnivore, and it was out of necessity as well. I was sick too. Now I would say I'm a little bit more flexible, so I will include some non-carnivore items that keep me in ketosis. So I'll have avocado, I'll have olives, but on a daily basis, I'll usually eat.
But protein doesn't even keep you in ketosis. Your insulin goes up when you eat high protein meal. So
that's right.
That's dumb as hell.
A ribeye and maybe half a pound of ground beef, a couple of eggs.
Yeah, and then you're out of ketosis.
She's not very bright. The problem is she's not real carnivore, man. She's addicted to taste. She's cooking and everything. She's just addicted to taste.
So I'm about the same. I eat about 1.5 pounds of meat a day, and it just varies between ground meat. And I stick with bison, beef, lamb, and goat, veal, venison when I can hunt it.
Oh, nice. She hunts.
But
That's
I
fire.
also eat nose to tail.
Holy shit, she's a hunter, man. That's amazing.
So I
organs.
believe that
Raw liver.
we should honor the whole animal. So I do include the organ meat. So I eat a combination of a little bit of organs, a little bit of fat, and a little bit of muscle meat per meal.
Nice.
What do you mean by honor?
That's kind of optimal, yeah.
So by honoring the animals, I'm not just consuming the muscle meat. I'm consuming the entire animal.
Yeah, the organs are the best part,
It's
arguably.
interesting too, in terms of like longevity, the question about longevity. I know you mentioned some folks have been doing it for like 2 decades. Veganism has been in so many cultures for centuries. And
What the fuck? How is she going to underpin this? This is just her religious belief, because there's no cases of any culture or tribe or anything being vegan.
so the carnivore diet is interesting because it seems fairly new in the sense of like the past few.
But it's not new because, well, in terms of the cooked meat diet, yeah, with salt and water. But in terms of being a carnivore, humans have always been carnivores. Well, Homo sapiens have always been carnivores.
Yeah. If anything, they need to prove it's healthy, the vegan diet, and they haven't proven anything yet. And if anything, they proved it's unhealthy.
Decades. So I'm kind of like, why, where? Whereas veganism across, like I said, many cultures,
name one.
centuries, it's been a thing.
Name fucking one.
Well, I mean, but we also, if you
She
look
can't. She's a dumb bitch. She's just making up shit.
at our ancestors, before agriculture was even a thing, we had cavemen that were hunters, and they were thriving off of just eating meat.
Well, foragers.
True. But this fucking bitch is just making dumb claims which
And
don't.
here's the thing: we're still thriving off of meat because we've never stopped eating it. Because if we do, we're dead. Because aren't we omnivores according to government and all these people? We're omnivores, right? So what happens if we stop eating meat? We die. Us omnivores are gonna die. Get it? Yeah, man.
Exist. Which fucking culture survived off veganism? Zero. Ugh, this book.
Zero survived off of veganism. No culture. If anything, if they did, they'd be dead because the armies would come and destroy all of them.
My earphone out. Holy crash out. But
If
like,
they didn't destroy themselves first, eating the peasant slave food diet.
what the fuck is she talking about? Is she serious? Like, does she actually think that? There's not a
she's
single
making it
case of
up.
that whatsoever.
Before that, we had to create tools to hunt. We couldn't just grab a cow or whatever they had back then and chomp into it.
Well, we couldn't just grab a cow and jump into it. We had to make tools. We had to make whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Did we?
No, but we could grab leaves. So why didn't we grab leaves?
You don't have to do any of that. You can chase these animals off a cliff. They fall off the cliff and then they die, and then you go pick them up. Get it? You don't need anything to kill any of these animals. This is just dumb. We're intelligent beings. Like any other animal, we're hunters. We're predators. We'll figure out a way.
Pull seeds off trees and eat them, and pull roots out of the ground and eat them. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah,
Except in times of starvation, of course.
Exactly.
We had to create tools and fire. So that is not natural because we had to create something in order to...
We did? That's not natural? We had to do that? Oh.
Capture, kill.
How is that not natural? Every animal has a nature which is expressed through what they do. So you think that nature is just us sitting around and letting every other species' nature take over us instead of expressing our own nature. That's such a shallow view of nature. Like, creating tools is not natural. That's so dumb. It's the same people, the same goatist cunts who are in my comments saying man made this, man made that. Like, literally, that's nature. Like, what? Like, even if we... Like, you're wearing a dress, is that not natural? What the hell? Okay.
Kill the animal and then cook him. And
You know birds build tools as well, right? They build nests out of sticks. That's a tool. So is that not natural? Is that not a natural animal anymore? Should they just, like, fall out of the tree?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with him. Yeah. I thought about that. Yep.
You know? This is just the stupidest fucking thing.
And so we were foragers initially, and that's what we were thriving on. That's what...
Foragers, we're thriving on that, yeah.
It's more, to me, that...
Based on what? How did you know that we were foragers?
Yeah.
The stabilized tip analysis shows that we ate mostly meat, 96% meat.
Your car's headlight bulbs can lose...
what we came from, and that's what a lot of cultures still do.
Yeah, that's natural.
That live off the land, and they live in very, very genuine ways with the planet, and they're not hunting animals, they're not killing, they're living in harmony, I would say, with...
They're not hunting animals, they're not killing, they're living in harmony. So what are they doing? They just, like, pick roots out of the ground and seeds of trees? Or what? Or do they farm animals and kill them?
Right.
Their environment.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, what are you talking about? Like, literally, what are you talking about?
These are athletes. Oh, all of you. Okay, so do you think that long-term vegan athletes or bodybuilders prove that meat isn't necessary?
That doesn't prove anything.
Okay.
Watch the Game Changers. That shows...
Well, why is athleticism the standard? That's really stupid.
Top athletes, Patrick Baboumian, strongest man in the world, won lots of records, longtime vegan, ultra-marathoners.
Nima Delgado.
Right.
Okay, I can also guarantee that the strongest man in the world is on steroids as well, if he's vegan. So his diet is kind of irrelevant to how strong he is, how strong he is, how much metal he can lift, right? It's kind of irrelevant.
Right. Top football players, a lot of wrestlers, the Ironman, Scott Jurek, the ultra-marathoner.
A lot of athletes have complemented changing to a plant-based diet.
Yeah,
So that's like
and the first thing they do is they take steroids because it fails them.
Serena Williams.
Plant-based, what about veganism? Isn't that different? Plant-based is where you eat mostly plants, and then you eat some meat, eggs, and dairy here and there. What about veganism? What about strict...
Right, that's not veganism. Plant-based, they add some animal products.
Veganism?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been, like, personally, I've been vegan for 13 years plus. I like to think that I deadlift heavy, squat heavy, bench heavy.
Oh, 13 years. Not without cheating, though.
Man, she's so full of shit, this one.
I'm pretty strong, and that's been without any animal products.
So, all in all, would you say that optimal
Whatever.
health is...
Okay, being able to lift a lot of metal doesn't mean that you're strong, and it doesn't mean that you're healthy.
Exactly. Lifting a lot of heavy metal doesn't mean you're strong. Recruiting motor units, it doesn't mean you're strong.
Either.
the same for everyone, or does it just depend on the individual in terms of how you eat and being in the most optimal health?
I think it's individual.
I do too.
I think our system, everyone has a different configuration for sure, but our systems are geared for eating plants. We don't have.
Our systems are not geared for eating plants. If we're, it's just not. But anyways, if you want to say it's geared for eating plants, then it must be geared for eating meat because we're omnivores. Isn't that how it goes? We're omnivores. According to you and your government, we're omnivores.
The teeth, even if you look at a silverback gorilla who's a...
What about the teeth? You have no teeth when you eat fucking peasant slave food diets. What about a silverback?
Vegan, their teeth are...
They're not vegans, they're herbivores, they still eat animals.
Yeah. They're herbivores. They're not vegan, they're herbivores, exactly. They're herbivores. And they eat animals sometimes. So I don't know what she's talking about. So they're omnivore as well. They're all omnivores. All animals, we can prove it. There's a compilation from, what is it, Godis? He says, look, all animals, he can prove all animals are omnivores. Okay.
Really massive. We do not have the teeth to bite into flesh. We don't have the digestive...
What do you mean by teeth to bite into flesh? Flesh is soft. When you cook it, it gets really hard. It's soft because 70% of it is water. You eat it, it's very soft. I don't know what she's talking about, bite into flesh.
Enzymes, the length of our digestive...
What do you mean we don't...
She's so dumb, man. She's just making up crazy shit.
Have the digestive enzymes. We don't have oxalase, we don't have phytase, which herbivores have to digest phytic acid, to digest oxalates. We do have proteases to digest animal protein, though.
Exactly.
Just like completely lying or just completely ignorant. Our stomach pH
She's ignorant. She's just dumb, man.
is closest to that of obligate carnivorous scavengers like vultures, who actually eat a lot of rotten meat. That we have a short colon compared to body length. Our colon index is a lot closer to carnivores, actually shorter than other carnivores. And definitely a lot shorter than herbivorous or omnivorous animals. So other than the teeth thing, there's not really any argument because our digestive system is 100% adapted to eating meat.
tract is one of a plant eater, not...
No, just completely false.
Like a cat that has a very short one. That's why we have so many digestive issues and stomach cancers and things.
Okay, you can't make a causal link with that. But no, we actually have a very short colon compared to our body length, compared to animals, like shorter than cats, I believe, shorter than wolves. Our stomach pH is more acidic than lions. I believe 10 times more acidic. Yeah, 10 times more acidic than lions because the pH scales is reverse longitudinal.
Because our systems are not geared to digesting animal products.
No, false.
So somebody could have different health issues, but if our basic anatomy is not suited for that, then I would say that doesn't make sense to me.
I don't think there's a consensus in science of what the optimal diet is for.
But there is, because we can...
There is. Science says omnivore is the optimal diet. Omnivore, your government says omnivore. Meat.
Observe the biochemistry of different foods.
For humans. But I do think that there's a lot of evidence that suggests that a plant-based diet can be healthy.
No, it doesn't, because your government says you're an omnivore. Omnivore.
Okay.
Science says you're an omnivore. It says humans are omnivores.
Well, healthy is a vague term. Healthy means more than something else. So it can improve your health compared to what? Compared to something else, right? So it's a correlation. It's dog shit. It means nothing.
For a lot of humans, not for everyone, but for a lot. So I think the question is more.
So it can benefit some and others because it's not a universal benefit.
Why wouldn't you opt for the more ethical diet?
Because not everyone has the same religious beliefs.
It is so individual because these ladies are saying, oh, my acne cleared up. I was healed from all these different things. So for them, optimally, this is the best diet. But in your cases, even...
Well, even that doesn't prove that it's optimally the best diet because there are other confounding variables. So, yeah, it just doesn't prove anything.
I'm not a vegan, but I did for a time. I'm a Christian. I did something called a Daniel fast, where you just eat like fruits and vegetables for about 3 weeks, and I felt and looked the best ever. Like I really did. I did not care to have meat again, but every now and then you want that. So I think it does depend on the person. But if it can heal you, then that is optimally like your best
Again,
decision.
her anecdote doesn't
I think
really
we
mean
know
anything.
still so little about nutrition that I would say that, obviously if you're dying, you make the decision that you need to make. But I think we know so little still about nutrition, and so
Maybe she knows so little still about nutrition. I don't know about we. Who's we, right? Who's we? It's her.
many of the studies are
Exactly. I thought we're omnivores, so we must know about nutrition, right? Omnivore.
funded by the animal agriculture or pharmaceutical industry.
Oh yeah, big animals, big cow, right?
Oh, yeah.
Big cow. Yeah, the epidemiological studies that are funded don't matter whatsoever. We can look at actual scientific and clinical trials and biochemistry, which is unbiased completely, and we can see that eating a meat-based diet, optimally raw, is the optimal human diet.
Or these big megalithic things that maybe we just don't know yet how to cure certain things using plants because it's so new.
I love this. We don't know how to cure certain things using plants because we just don't know. Cure what? There's no disease out in nature when you eat your appropriate diet. You don't get disease. There's nothing to cure. There's nothing. The problem is you see people getting sick, more sick now than ever because they've ramped up eating these plants and they eat less meat. So if we're omnivores, isn't it supposed to be 50-50? But what happens is now people are like, I don't know, 90% plant and 10% meat. Yeah. And your government now slowly wants you to like eliminate meat altogether. They don't want to give you meat. Why? Why don't they want you to give you meat? Because they want you to die. Because you're omnivore. Aren't you omnivore? So if your government takes away all your meat and says you should be eating plant-based, doesn't that mean they want to kill you? They want you to die? Yes.
Cure certain things using plants. That's so dumb.
The next prompt is, veganism is impractical or unsustainable for most people. Okay, anyone can share.
Well, veganism can last for quite a long time in a lot of people, but sometimes it will catch up with you. So
Yeah, it will catch up with them eventually. You can go a while and then it'll catch up.
think about maybe you will need meat in the future. It's very good for people to be able to reproduce, having a meat diet. It's very healthy, and a lot of people have been infertile eating meat. They have become fertile. It's like something that is something in the body.
Yep. In these tribes, they would give them like organ meats to the women that were trying to get pregnant and children. Yeah, to keep them healthy. So they would get pregnant.
Body is saying you need this. So
yeah, it's not a mystery either. It's the fat soluble vitamins, cholesterol.
If you listen to your instincts, your body wants meat, man. It wants meat.
Well, which is a precursor to all your steroid hormones.
Yeah.
It's not a mystery. It's not something that's just out there floating in the meat. We actually know what makes it have these effects in the body. We actually know the biochemistry behind these foods. These women seem to not, which is weird because I don't know, they seem to have very strong feelings about their diets, but yeah.
maybe right now you're fine. We don't know what the future will hold.
Yeah, I would like to add to that because during my wellness journey and being sick, I lost my cycle. And one of the ways that I got my cycle.
Yeah, actually, I've also spoken to this woman who was vegan. She was vegetarian for 2 years and then switched to veganism. She was also an athlete. She lost her period, and then she started eating raw meat. She felt instantly better. Instantly way better. She started drinking raw milk, then she started eating raw ground beef. She felt the best she ever had. Yeah, that was just someone I talked to in DMs, not even a client of mine. So
Back was increasing my animal.
But I do actually have private coaching, an application for that. If you want to check that out in the bio, it's with me and Nikodem, another creator. We're quite knowledgeable, I would say, on this topic. So if you'd like to check that out, then you can. Of course, if you just have any questions, you can just DM me. I'll help you out anyway. But if you actually want to have private, like one-on-one, like coaching, yeah, just check that out if you want.
Fat, which was actually quite difficult because I was not used to eating that amount of fat, and I used beef fat and lamb fat to get myself into a higher state of ketosis so that I could get my cycle back, and I finally did.
I've done some work. I go to Egypt a lot, where I work with people in farming in rural communities and talk about veganism, and a lot of them are naturally vegan because they can't afford to have animal products. And
they're not naturally vegan.
I love this. They're not naturally vegan because they can't afford to have animal products. Well, if they could afford it, they probably would eat it. They wouldn't want to eat any slave food diet.
They're just starving.
Exactly. They're starving. They can't afford it. Thus, they're starving. So let's make them make it even worse. Make them really starve. Give them plants. Yeah, okay.
these people who are really strong and healthy and still working way, way, way into their 80s, 90s, and beyond, and they've lived on rice, beans.
They are? They lived on rice and beans.
And the plants that they grow. So I've seen thriving, strong,
They're still eating some meat. Man, this is just dumb, but whatever. You cannot survive without any meat because they're omnivores, lady.
active people. I've been in India where I met a guy who was 110 who was eating bananas. Like,
yeah, he's eating bananas, but they too even are not 100% vegan because they eat meat, so therefore they're omnivores. All animals on this planet are omnivores because all of them eat fucking animals, man. All of them. They'll even eat each other. They're cannibals.
not that I advocate that, but that's all he was eating. Yeah. At that point, he was just eating bananas, and he's 110. So obviously, it's anecdotal, but I've just met a lot of really older people in cultures where they're eating kind of from the land and what they're growing.
Look, even I cheat sometimes. I'm not 100% omnivore. I'm more carnivore than omnivore, but I still kind of cheat, so therefore I'm omnivore. Get it? Look, man, it's you're just an animal of opportunity. If there's opportunity, you're gonna take it, right?
And that they don't have the resources for the animal products.
Yeah, but they would eat them if they like to because they crave.
They don't have the resources for animal products, but why don't you help them get the resources so that they can have a healthy lifestyle, so they can be omnivore?
The animal products.
So I think when folks say veganism is inaccessible is when we're thinking very much through a Western lens of like a veganized lasagna or whereas those anecdotes, those truths are more. Rice and beans is way more accessible globally than meat. It's cheaper. So it's way more accessible.
Yeah, rice and shit has a lot of heavy metals in it.
Yeah, meat is cheaper.
Fatty acid, lectins, it's just shit. Fiber, carbohydrates, cause glycation.
Yep.
And
which equals deterioration.
What did she say? Beans? Yeah, that's horrible. That's just complete gut destruction.
Yep.
You've got a lot of lectins in those.
To the masses, I think when people say, well, vegan food is expensive, it's because we're thinking of like the places in LA that
we're also thinking about fruits and vegetables, which can be expensive, and depending on if you want it organic, and exactly. LA is expensive, but I think that cost can play a role. Do you ladies think it's the culture, it's health, it's cost?
I think this is a really amazingly privileged conversation that we get to have. Truly, like from my heart, that we have all had really incredible, unique life experiences that have got us to this point where we're so convicted that what we're doing is the right thing, at least for us. I think that there are parts of the world where certain diets are more accessible, like Inuits, for example, they are going to have more access to an animal-based or carnivorous diet, whereas some places they will eat more plants. When I think that when we're talking about just us in this Western society in North America, the fact that we can just have this conversation, it's beautiful, and I think that what we really, I think, agree on is that eating food that's natural to our planet in general is the solution over the processed foods. I think we're ultimately on the same side on a lot of that, is that none of us actually believe that the food that comes from the plants
just appealing to everyone.
Plants, and I would agree with that. Like if I had a patient
lead is natural to the planet,
and the only thing that they did was eat the processed foods and they went more plant-based, I'd actually be okay with that.
Yeah, I think I absolutely agree with you on that. I guess my issue is that, like you were saying earlier, we take so.
Yeah, but they didn't eat plant-based all year round when they farmed. They only ate it in the summertime. Very, very little fruit, very little plants. And then the rest of the year, they ate meat. So, yeah, man, I don't know, man. Whatever. Omnivore.
so much land to graze animals, and it's taking such a toll on the environment, the dead zones from the animal waste, the methane emissions from the animals, the droughts that are caused because we're using so much water on this land, and all these grains that we're using to feed animals. We have a lot of starving children that we're not feeding that could be fed if we grew plants. We'd have enough food for everyone. There's no reason for hunger on this planet. We can solve that problem right now. We plant legumes, fruits, vegetables. We'll feed everybody.
There's all starvation foods.
Yeah, we'll feed everybody legumes, this and that, and everything. What about omnivore diet? Come on, man. You want to starve them to death, eh?
And the problem isn't farming meat, it's farming in general, because if we didn't farm, we would all hunt. And the strongest
Exactly. We're built to hunt. We were made to hunt. Our torsos twist, our arms, we can throw a javelin like really far, man. We're made to hunt. We're built to hunt. We're predators. We're made to, we can climb, crawl, run. We're intelligent, man. We are made to hunt.
Would be the ones that would eat, and the weak ones would starve and go, right?
That's right.
To say the least.
Strong survive, weak die.
And then people would just hunt and get their own food, and there would be no starvation. Well, it's based on the individual, because who cares if someone, but yeah, I can't really talk about this topic.
We can't sustain it on animal-based diets. There's not enough food for everyone, and there's not enough land.
Why? Like, why?
That's a lie. She's just making this shit up.
Who cares, bro?
To where everyone is going to be able to eat by doing that.
It's interesting. Anyone want to say?
Man, she just wants to glorify whatever hell her religion, whatever hell she's doing. My religion is the best religion. I know what I'm doing is right. And then and then you see her on the compilation. I'm no longer vegan. Yeah, is she gonna apologize for what she did? No, she is arrogant, and arrogant people lose in the world. You get countries that are arrogant; they'll fucking lose in the end. They get completely demolished, swallowed up. She's so arrogant, this woman, and it's gonna come back to fucking bite her.
I do think that veganism tends to feel really inconvenient to a lot of people because you go to
this video is long. Holy shit!
Birthday parties.
It is a long video.
Things with friends.
I'll consider
and it's like barbecues, cookouts.
Okay, I'm just gonna end this video because it's boring and it's really hot and I want to do something else.
Yeah. Wow. And look how long I went. Over an hour or something. Shit.
I feel like I covered a lot of topics. So yeah, again, if you want to check out my coaching,
I'm not interested in any coaching. We don't need coaching, man. I coach myself. So that was an interesting video. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Don't you think about that? Like, subscribe, support the channel. Yeah, omnivore, right? I thought we were all omnivores. Whatever, man. I'm just laughing at this. It's garbage.